Number 9, order. The principle of order. Oneness with your truth. Order, oneness with your truth. When you become one with your truth, when you understand what you believe to be true, and you begin to make decisions off of that, you begin to organize your life off of that, order naturally follows because you're staying true to your principles. That's what the principle of order is. And the African deity associated with it is Heru Kahuti, which is the deity of protection or law enforcement, believe it or not. Well, what does that have to do with order? Well, law enforcement is all about keeping the order, keeping every law and order. But in our lives, sometimes things can get hectic or can get confused or become out of order, and then our life gets out of order, and then that drives us into depression or despair. But when we understand what's true and we stay true to that, what's true for us, then we can organize our life according to that truth. Sometimes we're disorganized because we're living someone else's truth instead of our own. And so Heru Kahuti is the deity of order or protection. And the acting principle behind that is communication and competition. So what is that? Well, in any story and plays, both characters are arguing a point. And they're finding different ways to communicate that point, and they're competing with one another. Well, we kind of don't use the word competition in Playback Memphis, but it's the deep desire to communicate, and there's a variety of different ways to communicate a story. One of the most beautiful ways for us is to communicate without words, just sounds. But believe it or not, sounds is a method of communicating, and what have you. And so communication, competition. But I'll also say that in life, it makes me think about nonviolent communication, and the idea of nonviolent communication bothers me because of the word violent and the way our subconscious works. It doesn't hear the non, it hears violent. Our subconscious hears violent communication, and I notice that there's a violence in the air when I witness people practicing nonviolent communication. It's because it's not balanced. And so I believe that there's a martial art. Martial art is the balance between violence and nonviolence. Martial art communication is what I believe in, and it's having a variety of ways to communicate in order to keep the peace. But for this sense, and we're talking about fluids with this, when we do fluids, there's a variety of ways that we can communicate the story, and we'll become conscious of a variety of ways to communicate. We can use it. We can communicate with our bodies. We can communicate with sounds. We can communicate with music. We can communicate with words. We can communicate with just phrases. There's a number of ways that we can communicate, and fluids is a great way to exercise this. Hello, hello, hello. I should have had my son stop because we didn't do the meditation of order. Where is order? Order is resting right above your solar plexus, and the color of order is deep, dark green. All right? And so I want you to take a deep breath in, order, and let it out. Think about what your truth is. What is your authentic truth? Take a deep breath in. It's a broad idea, and let it out. It could be a religious truth. It could be a creative truth. What is your truth? What is the thing that makes you tick? Take a deep breath in and let it out. And I want you to imagine a deep color green and breathe in the idea of what you can do with your life. How will you organize your life according to that truth? Let it out. And what I'm believing you'll find is a harmonious order to your life based on how you organize it according to your own truth. Take a deep breath in and let it out.